All praise go to Yahshua HaMashiach and the Most High. I come because I want to tell you a story, just like the last 10 years of my life. I was married to this girl for 7 years. Not married, but I was with her for 4 years. 5, we got engaged in the 5th year. So I had been with my ex for 7 years. And I used to do all type of things, from traveling from city to city, like 200 to 300 miles, traveling with drugs and everything. So we were staying in Columbia, South Carolina around this time in apartments. And we had hit a bad spot in our relationship. So I chose, because around this time, my grandma was still alive, and I had chose to renew my faith, and I had got baptized at her church. Now, after doing that, I had the connection, so I started to pray about the status of my relationship to the Most High. And he showed me that it was time for me and the girl to go separate directions. And when I woke up, she wasn't there. I panicked, and when I looked outside, I seen her in the car crying. I knew right then and there I wasn't ready to part ways with her, so I did not take the Most High advice. And not doing that put me in a terrible place and suffering one of the worst years I ever had in my life. So when we moved to Beaufort, everything just started going downhill. And it got so bad to the point where, because we were selling drugs, we were selling cocaine, we were selling crack, we were selling weed. I mean, that's when I had the 20-inch rims on the truck, so I had plentiful money. And it got so bad to the point where, I lost myself. I was so trapped in trying to please her and make her happy, that I forgot about myself. And in doing so, I'm working long hours from 6 to 4, 10 hours, 6 a.m. to 4 p.m., from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. at night, working on the golf course and in the kitchen, and coming home, hustling on the side, paying the bills and everything. So it got to the point where she would never come home. And I was getting so depressed because I was so wrapped up in this girl and ignoring the warning sign that the Most High was giving me, that I end up unraveling in the deep, deep depression, to the point where I didn't care about myself. I didn't care if I was living anymore. No, I didn't have anybody. I was by myself. No family, because I was miles away from them, like 2 hours away from them. So we was miles apart, to where I started doing coke and started drinking heavy liquor almost like every day, all day, because I didn't care about myself. I didn't care about what I was doing. I just run around all day doing cocaine, using cocaine all the time, because I was so trapped in this pit of brokenness, and so trapped in this girl, I couldn't find my way. And it got to the point where we both selling cocaine, but I'm buying cocaine from her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally buying cocaine from my fiance. We both selling it, but I'm buying it from her. That's how bad I had got. And I was lost, and I was to the point where I didn't care about living no more. This is why I tell people I know how depression feels. Stress and depression is real. Because you could get to the point where you don't care about yourself or care about nobody around you. And I was at that point. But I found strength in the song from Echo Angels called Give You Peace. And it took me to do some strange, weird things, to where I noticed that I wasn't being myself. I was coming out my character. You ever did something and then stop and think like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? So I had to face reality that I was living and doing things that I normally wouldn't do, and I wasn't being myself. I was in a very bad place mentally, physically, and spiritually. I was almost dead. I was really, really broken and terrified to look at myself in the mirror because of what I was doing and the person I had become, to the point where she will threaten me, leave me places with no money, nowhere to go, and I'll be stuck in the city with no family, no funds, and felt like I was homeless. This is part of the reason why I kind of have a little bit of abandonment issues, which I'm overcoming, because that's the first time in my life I ever felt like I didn't have anyone or nowhere to go. So with dealing with all this stuff and the things I was doing, I had to really come to a realization of what do I want to do with myself. So I had to look in the mirror, and I chose that I would not live this way. Like, this is not who I want to be. Man, I want to be different. So I took it upon myself to pick myself up. And as I was doing this every day, I would pray, pick myself up, listen to the music, be in a good mood, to the point where she would come home and see me in a good mood, and she would fight with me because of my mood. She expected me to be down and broken like I was born, but I was finding strength. I was gaining my power back. I stopped using the drugs. I stopped drinking the hard liquor, and I was just finding my strength back. I was finding my strength back, to the point where she started to trust me again. And we had a bag, a Crown Royal bag, full of cocaine, full of crack, full of weed and everything. And we had 2 trucks. One of the trucks had one headlight missing, but the registration, all that was fine. The other truck was not registered, but all the lights were fine. I only had $20. So I chose to take the truck with the one headlight. And I drove that car with one headlight at night, 2 hours away from where I was, to get back home with a bag full of drugs, because that's how bad I wanted to leave that place. Little did I know, when I come over California and I start wilding out and having fun, that I will meet my now fiance. And if it wasn't for Julian, and she remind me this all the time, I really don't know if we would be in the same position we in. Especially me, because Julian would actually slow me down and made me realize when I had him, because I grew up without a dad. My mom was drunk all the time. So nobody taught me how to be a man or how to handle yourself. Once I was 15, I was in the streets. I was gang banging. I was doing whatever, young stupid people do. And when he came along, I decided right then and there that, I will not continue this same path, and I will create a different path to where I can teach my son about finances. I can teach my son about credit. I can teach him about economics, so he don't have to struggle the way I had to struggle with a whole bunch of misinformation or not having the information afforded to you so you can understand how to walk in manhood. So when I came over here, and this is just a short story, I'm saying this because I want people to understand that when you see somebody talking and people believe in faith and they talk, it's a reason for it. Most people don't find faith until something tragic happened in their life. And I have a lot of tragic things happen in my life. This is just the one story that I'm telling you to get you to understand that how broken and terrible I was, that because I ignored the signs that the Most High gave me, I could have been on the way, easier and better path, but I chose to ignore the signs and chose to follow and be done with what I was doing. So once I took that trip, my cousin helped me out, and my sister helped me out, my brother helped me out. I came to California, I met Michelle, then she ended up getting pregnant, then she called me and she told me she was pregnant, and we've been together ever since. And every day is not perfect with her, but I appreciate her because she helped change my life. She was the roadblock I needed to stop and actually slow down. So when she got pregnant with Julian, that gave the Most High a chance to slow me down and force me to listen to what he had to tell me, because I wouldn't listen to anything else or listen to any message, because I was too busy caught up in doing what I wanted to do and make my own decision, not realize the decision I was making was destroying me and destroying my life at the time. So just having that and just knowing now where I'm at now to where I came from food stamps, from being in social services, from being in the streets, being a gang member, from hustling in the street, from just doing all the things that you think is right growing up because you're broken and you don't have no guidance, so nobody teach you that this is how you should be. So you grow up and you do what's surrounding your community and you become a product of your environment. And that's what I was. I was a product of my environment. You know what I mean? But just going through that and able to sit there and reflect now on the stuff I went through because of my decision making, that he had to really sit me down and force me to listen to what he had to say. And that took me to come all the way across country to San Diego, California, to meet Michelle and have a baby, just so he could get me to listen, because I wouldn't listen any other time. I wouldn't listen. Like, he had to force me to listen. And now that I'm listening and I'm listening and I'm trying to do his will and do the best for me and my family, I understand now. And I have a better sense of direction. I have a better sense of myself and what to expect from me and how to instill these things I've learned into my child so he won't have to grow up and face these challenges. It's gonna be enough challenge for him just growing up being black and being Mexican. So, when you see people talk, don't judge people, because you don't know what goes on in people's life or what they went through to get to where they at. You know what I mean? And I went through a lot, to get where I'm at. And I just appreciate the fact that I'm able to stand here and tell you this short story that happened in my life, because like I said, it's one of many from the day I was born. You know what I mean? When I hear the story, my mom tell me that I died when I was an infant. You know what I mean? I could have been gone right then and there, but the Most High seen fit that I stay alive. And I done went through many different things, and I always ask myself, why am I here? Why every time I come into danger or do something foolish and stupid off my decision making, I don't have to pay for the consequences. This is why I'm able to stand and do my work, because I never had to pay for none of the dumb stuff I did in my past, man. All the stupid decisions. I didn't get locked up. I got a clean record. I didn't get shot. No, I survived, man. Like, I survived when most people, I got a homeboy been locked up since we was 17 years old, and I'm 33 and he's still locked up. I mean, that could have been me. That could have been me. I got homies who dead. That could have been me. So, I just wanted to share that with you to let you know, man, through all barriers and through all falls, man. When we choose not to listen and we choose to follow our own direction, our own understanding, you can't get mad when you put yourself in the hole that you can't come up out of, because it's going to be very hard because you ignored the warning sign that was trying to get you to turn away off this path in the first place. And that's what I did, So I just wanted to share my experience with y'all and share this with y'all and give y'all an understanding a little bit of who I am and what I went through, to show you why I believe and what I'm doing. Because I was in the streets, man. I grew up without a mother, without a father. My grandma raised us. I grew up on Section 8. I grew up off food stamps. So I seen the brokenness. I grew up with people not respecting women and not valuing who they is and teaching all the kids the wrong thing. I grew up, I know these things. I seen these things. I've been around these things. And I became a product of what I was around. But I always felt different no matter what I was doing. I always felt different, like this wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. And it took me to 30 years old to come over here and have a baby just to sit down and realize this. And I say all this because I want you to realize that we waste a lot of time in life partying and doing stuff that don't mean anything, And then by the time you really find out who you is, you over 30 and you done wasted a lot of time. You know what I mean? I'm just happy and blessed that I'm able to instill everything I know into my kids so I could give them a better chance to be successful in life and in spirit. You know what I mean? Because I know more in the last 3 years than I knew the whole time I was living in my entire life about me and about the Bible as a faith. So I believe not because of what people tell me. I believe because it was always instilled in me since my uncle used to preach the Bible to me at night, and he sowed that seed, and the things that I went through, the things that happened to me and the things that didn't happen to me let me know it's only by the grace of the Most High that I'm standing here right now able to tell you these stories, because it could have been different. Julie and Kiana couldn't have been here. Man, my whole life could have been totally different from what it is now. That's why I'm cool. That's why I don't do nothing. That's why I just relax, because I might be at the end of my quota with stupidness, and the next stupid mistake could be the one to fill it up and send me away forever. So I just want to take the time and enjoy my life, and that's what I do. This is why I follow the word, because if it wasn't for that, man, I wouldn't be here right now. You know what I mean? Like I say, this is just one example out of many that happened in my life, man. You know what I mean? So don't never look at somebody, man, and judge people because you don't know what they go through or what they been through to get where they at. You know what I mean? You don't know what goes on inside somebody's head or how they feeling because you don't know what they thinking, man. So you got to be cautious of that and take your time and have discernment and be mindful that you don't know what a person went through to get where they at. You know what I mean? We all had stories. We all had trial and tribulation. I'm just sharing this one with y'all so I can give you an insight of what I went through and why I'm here and what I believe. Because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be here. I had plenty of opportunity to listen and take a different route. I didn't. I chose this life. So I had to ride it out. Even though he was still trying to get my attention, the consequences of my actions had to be written out because I wouldn't listen to anything else. I wouldn't listen, and I think about myself, man, where I was at. Just know, it just encouraged me every day to know that I can do anything I want to as long as I keep my mind right and keep believing and keep the faith and keep moving forward, man. Because people don't know how hard it is just being black in America, man. And when we make these dumb decisions, we add more onto that stuff. We make our plate heavier and make our job harder just to be alive. Man, life hard enough as it is. The world hard enough as it is. We don't need to add to the fire, man. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to share that with y'all. Hopefully you got something out there and you got a little insight about what I had to go through. You know what I mean? I took a chance. You know what I mean? I had 7 grams of cocaine, 7 grams of crack. I had like 4 or 5 different ounces of weed that I drove at night in a car with one headlight. If I would have got pulled over in Colombia, my life would have been through. My life would have been through. I would have never even got to make it over here, but I am here. You know what I mean? So just count your blessings, man. Never get too down on yourself because you don't understand what you're going through. A lot of things we go through is self-inflicting wounds because we doing what we want to do and we doing how we think things should go. And when sometimes you need to sit back and just listen, because if you listen, then you might have an easier path. So with all that being said, man, I appreciate y'all listening, and I'm out.